So today we're going to be doing a unit review on this Chi-Chi. Let's just go ahead and get her SSR out the way. She comes out in 2018, and for some reason I thought that I got her as a little World Tournament reward card back then, but I was not playing on JP in April of 2018 because I started in January of 2018 around that time. So I absolutely did not get her for JP because I was on Global, and I didn't start JP until around, I think, December of 2018. I think December of 2018. I vaguely remember being in science class with my guy Max, and I was like, you know what? To hell with this. I'm gonna go ahead and download JP. I'm tired of JP getting all the new cool stuff, and of course, here we are today. Now, let's just go ahead and just run down on this Chi-Chi and see exactly what she's doing inside her SSR. She comes out during the Battle Road meta. Yeah, she comes out during the Battle Road meta as SSR. She's a World Tournament reward card, I like to believe, at that time, for you grinding to, like, I think 23 million points, or maybe it was something less back in 2018. If you guys know, please let me know. But yeah, so let's see. So her and her SSR, I don't know how well she'd perform for Super Battle Road, so let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, her leader skill is irrelevant, of course, but we're going to talk about it anyway. So her leader skill is physical type 2 key and 50% to attack and defense, so no HP, just 2 attack and defense. And her super attack, that being no forgiveness, she just has a rare chance to stun an enemy. That is a 15% chance, 20% chance. Okay, I did not remember that. So a 20% chance to stun the enemy. And her passive, that being strength of a name withheld, she lowers the attacked enemy's attack and defense by 20% for 2 turns. And she gets 3 key and 60% attack and defense when HP is 50% or above. So basically, at the start of turn, she's starting out with 3 key and 60% attack and defense. Granted, you're above the HP threshold, which you really most possibly will be at the start of turn, obviously. And she is a attack debuffer, of course, when she attacks the enemy, as well as her having a 20% chance to stun. Now, could she work inside Battle Road? Absolutely, because she has that very low chance to stun, as well as that attack debuff for 2 turns inside her super attack effect. Well, not her super attack effect, inside of her passive, excuse me, I completely mixed it up. She does have an attack debuff built into her passive, as well as a 20% chance to stun. Granted, the only thing that's going to be worth, you make it worth you running her in Battle Road is for her attack debuff and her very low chance to stun, that being a 20% chance to stun. Outside of that, probably would not run her in there. That's the only thing that will make her worthwhile, is the fact that she does have an attack debuff as well as a rare chance to stun. Would you run her in there? No. But if she's like a very, very, very last option, you can go ahead and make it work, right? And her link set, that being the Innocence, Battlefield Diva, Infighter, The Incredible Adventure, Guidance of the Dragon Balls. And the categories that she's on: Peppy Gals, World Tournament, Goku's Family, Earthlings, Bond of Parent and Child, Earthbred Fighters, and Tournament Participants. Now, where are you running her? In Extreme Super Battle Road back in April of 2018 on the... I think it's versus Extreme Int, where you bring like a super physical team in there. I haven't done Battle Road in ages, so I'm sorry guys if I don't completely remember that. So, are you running her in Battle Road? No, but if she's like your very, very, very last option for your super physical team, you can go ahead and make it work. So with that being said, of course, you have to cover her with like an item, because of course that, granted, she does not stun and she just lowers the enemy's attack and defense. You're definitely gonna have to burn that item, right? Or just hope that the enemy's not attacking too much inside the last slot, because even if then, she could probably take a little bit of damage with that item up. A little bit of damage, to hell with that. A lot of damage. Okay, so that's her and her SSR. Not really too many things to say bad about her. I mean, she's just a damn SSR that you could get from a World Tournament reward, as well as a World Tournament Song Banner. Now, if I really want to go a step further, remember how I was talking about how she has a 20% chance to stun, as well as lowering the enemy's attack by 20% for 2 turns? Do keep in mind that when you do get her as a her little reward for grinding up a specific amount of points, you're only going to have her at 55%. So yes, burning the item is, you have to burn the item if she's on rotation. Absolutely, because her lowering the enemy's attack is not going to be enough. Yeah, no, a very last option, a very, very last option, because not too many players are not going to be pulling her and running her in Battle Road back in 2018. Let's just keep it 1,000, right? So that's it for Chi-Chi inside her SSR form. So that's pretty much that. All right, so Chi-Chi, when she awakens October 23rd of 2020. So she gets her awakening during the, what's that, the Extreme Super Battle Road meta? Yeah, it is, because of course Extreme Super Battle Road comes out Sunday. of 2020. Man, I'm getting my dates mixed up a little bit. Yeah, because Transforming Vegeta comes out Saiyan of 2019, and then I think Bardock, I think AGL Bardock, as well as Tech Rat has come out 2020 of Saiyan Day. And then, of course, they had that little weird fiasco where Global did not get Extreme Super Battle to the part 2 of the Worldwide Down Celebration of 2020. Just ridiculous, just stupidity. I'm so glad that both versions are synced. That's the way it should have been, or I would have never played JP. Man, because I grind everything and anything on both versions. And I just continue to do it because I'm too far in now. There's no point in stopping now when it comes to grinding both versions. Anyways, comes out during the Extreme Super Battle meta. Are you running her in Extreme Super Battle? Let's go ahead and break down what she does, because I do not remember what she does inside her post-awakening. So her leader skill, she now gives HP inside of her leader skill, which is cool. She gives physical type 2 key and 70% across the board the stats. Of course, they added that HP to her leader skill. And her super attack, that being the Turtle School Dance, she has a 30% chance to stun. Cool. So it's way more reliable than a 20% chance to stun. It goes from a 20% chance to stun up to a 30% chance to stun. So definitely a bit more helpful, but even if then, that's still just a 30% chance to stun. Stun is stun inside ESBR, but even if then, we're going to see exactly what she does. She starts out with 120% attack and defense at the start of the turn, and she lowers the attacked enemy's attack and defense by 20% for 2 turns, so pretty much that carries on over from her SSR right over here. And she also gets 3 key and an additional 120% attack and defense when HP is 50% or more. Cool, so you're going to basically have that at the start of the turn. And she has a 50% chance to dodge when HP is 49% or less. And she's also effective against all types when there's an ally attacking the same turn or an enemy whose name is Goku. So let me just say this right now, we do not care that she has effective against all types. I would easily say, let's go ahead and trade this HP restriction. We're going to talk about this HP restriction on her 50% chance to dodge inside a second, but let's go ahead and trade this HP restricted dodge chance for this effective against all types. Like, I think that just trade that completely, because it's going to be way more easier for you to run a Goku to get her 50% chance to dodge if it was traded for that effective against all types, rather than you just running her for her dodge chance when she's below the HP threshold. I would absolutely trade that 50% chance to dodge for that effective against all types any day of the week, especially for Extreme Super Battle Road. Extreme Super Battle Road was extreme super bullshit. That was, man, those first 10 stages, I'm not gonna lie, that shit was tough. That shit was tough. Was it as tough as Super Battle Road when it first came out? I don't know, because I wasn't playing back in 2017. Super Battle Road comes out when? I think it comes out October of 2017, if I remember correctly. Guys, I have not checked the dates on events in a while, so please take that with a grain of salt. But yeah. Going back on over to her main thing that'd be very important for her inside ESBR is her 50% chance to dodge. This is interesting because when she's above the HP threshold, she gets that 3 key and 120% attack and defense, which she very much so needs because she is a free-to-play World Tournament unit. Now, when she's below the HP threshold, her getting her 50% chance to dodge is very feasible, because let's say you burn the item on the first turn and you take a bit of damage, and then you come back on the next turn, you have Chi-Chi inside the 3rd slot, and then she has her 50% chance to dodge. Then that makes it definitely makes it a bit more feasible for you to get this off inside ESBR. She's actually a runnable ESBR option because she has stun chance, that being a 30% chance to stun, as well as lowering the enemy's attack for 2 turns, which is obviously very nice inside Extreme Super Battle Road. So granted, if you get lucky and have her stun and lower the enemy's attack, that is a absolute W. But if you don't, you definitely are gonna have to fall back on that dodge chance. Granted, you're below the HP threshold. I said fall back. We're leaving that in the video. But anyways, that's pretty much that. It's very interesting because you can definitely get that ability off, but I would still easily trade this effective against all types for that 50% chance to dodge any day of the week, because who gives a damn that she's effective against all types? She's not doing damage. She doesn't have additional super attack chance. She doesn't get an attack and defensive buff in either her passive and her super attack effects. She's just like, who cares about the effective against all types? Just get that shit out of here. Let her have a 50% chance to dodge when you have a Goku on the same turn as her. Well, would that hurt her floating? Probably, unless you have a Goku on both rotations. That would probably hurt her floating if they change that effective against all types for that 50% chance to dodge. But even if then, to hell with it. Or how about we just fix it and just let her have a baseline 50% chance to dodge and just, we don't care. All right, let's just have that. Like, let's just not care about her having an unrestricted dodge chance. Anyways, the only thing that she gets for her post-awakening is Shattering the Limit, and I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, she doesn't get any extra categories, and that's all. Now, her Easy A, Easy A is during, of course, this difficult content, this Supreme Battle Spectacle meta, if you want to say so. Okay, new leader skill is Physical Type 3 key and 100% across the board. Cool. I mean, not really something you're going to be using, but hey, it's something there for an Easy A area. And her super attack, that being Turtle School Dance Extreme, she gets 30% attack for 1 turn, as well as having a 50% chance to stun the enemy. So first fight that comes to mind, Cellmax. Granted, you get further enough into the fight, she could stun him, but even if then, guys, we have a big problem. A, she's a free-to-play Easy A unit, and B, she's physical. So she's getting hit by one of the hardest hitting extreme STR bosses in the game. She takes a normal, guys, you guys know, like, those orbital strikes from GTA 5? That's literally gonna hit her. That. That is literally, she's getting turned into just dust if she gets hit by that Cellmax. And, like, within those first couple of phases, you can't even stun him. So, let's see what she's doing for her post-Easy A. 150% attack and defense at the start of turn, and she lowers the attacked enemy's attack and defense by 22% now from her 20%, and she lowers it for 3 turns from her 2 turns in her pre-Easy A. Okay, that's definitely nice, adding an extra turn of lowering the enemy's attack. So that means if you have her on rotation, and then she lowers the enemy's attack, by the time she comes back on rotation, she's still going to have the enemy's attack lower, so you can just keep on chain attack debuffing the enemy. And she has a baseline 30% chance to dodge, and she gets additional 3 key and 150% attack and defense when HP is 50% or more. So basically, at the start of turn, full HP, you're going to have 3 key and 300% attack and defense, as well as a 30% chance to dodge, as well as debuffing the attacked enemy's attack by 22% for 3 turns, which is obviously nice. And she gets 50% attack and an additional 40% chance to dodge when your HP is 49% or less. Okay, so you can get up to a 70% chance to dodge. So she loses 10% of her dodge, but for compensation, she gets a unrestricted 30% chance to dodge. But if you're below the HP threshold, she gets up to a 70% chance to dodge. Interesting. Again, I would just trade like the dodge for, you know what? Let me just not speak too soon. So she's now, of course, she's still effective against all types and has a 50% chance of launching additional super attack when there's a Goku attack in the same turn, or if the enemy is a Goku. And she launches 2 just guaranteed attacks. That's it. Just launches 2 additional attacks, just unrestricted. And she gets additional 150% defense when attacking. Very nice and helpful for her, considering the fact that she does not get any defensive buff inside of her super attack effect. And she launches a guaranteed super attack every time this character does 5 or more attacks in battle. So you want to run a Goku. You want to run a Goku so you can get this additional super attack chance. We just do not care about this effective against all types. We don't care. We don't care. We absolutely do not care. So this card can do up to what's that? She can do up to 4 plus supers, because she gets that. Well, she does her first super, that's 1. She can get 1 from having a 50% chance of doing an additional super. What else? No, that's not 4. I'm tripping. That's 2 additional attacks. Excuse me. Yeah, she can do up to 3 plus supers. I'm crazy. Yeah, because she does her first super. She does her second super. No, I'm having a brain fart. Yeah, she'll do her second super here, and then she'll do her guarantee super right over here. Of course, that's guaranteed you get lucky. And then, of course, she'll do her 4th super from the potential system. So first super, second super will come from here, and then the 3rd super will come from here, and then the 4th super will come from the potential system. Yeah, 4 plus supers. Defensive buff when attacking, very nice. She launches 2 additional attacks that absolutely helps her get her guaranteed super off. But my thing is that why didn't they just give her a 30% defensive raise for 1 turn? Why not? Why not? The issue is that this card has to be below the HP threshold, and she has to run a Goku. That's pretty much that. Yeah, because let me tell you something. This 30% chance to dodge is not going to help her, and you're going to guaranteed run a full dodge build on her, because A, she's a free-to-play Easy A from the World Tournament, and B, you have to be below an HP threshold for you to get that additional dodge chance. So that is really all. Yeah, not going to be too bashful on Chi-Chi. She's pretty straightforward. She has baseline 30% chance to dodge, gets additional dodge chance when you're below the HP threshold. But the only issue is that she gets touched, she gets exploded inside meta content. This attack debuff could help inside specific meta content fights, but the issue is, again, is that A, you have to run a Goku, which is not really too much of an issue, and B, you have to run her. And the problem is that these bosses do a lot of damage. So if either you get caught by a stray on one of the units that you don't particularly want to get caught by a stray on, or if she gets caught, you're pretty much dead. So she's just like, she's not working. Yeah, she's not working. I do like the fact that she's just doing 2 guaranteed additionals to help her build up to get that guaranteed super, of course, once within a turn. But that's just that. Yeah, the Chi-Chi is pretty much straightforward. I do wish she didn't have effective against all types. Why couldn't it just be like, just dodge? Just let's go ahead and rip this away. Let her have effective against all types below the HP threshold. I mean, who cares? Well, let her get 100% attack and defense as well as effective against all types when she's below the HP threshold. Alright? Let her get more stats when she's below the HP threshold. And let her get, I don't know, just keep the 150% attack and defense. That's pretty much it. That's my opinion on Chi-Chi. That's all I really have to say. Oh, so going back on over to her, well, not back on over, but going on over to her Dokkan info page. She's on 200% leader skills. And her best linking partner is a Neen, as well as the LR OG Dragon Ball trio. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Okay, so that's Chi-Chi, guys. She was the next card I needed to talk about, so yeah, we just got her out the way. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the best. I'll catch you guys next time. I absolutely love you all. Join the 24/7 Discord server. Link is down below in the description for you guys to join today. Leave a like and subscribe. Peace.